Time it is True Story Thursdays, the greatest fucking podcast in the world, and this is the truth, the dad bod god, the bald, the beard, and the fucking beautiful Piers Austin, and that's Mr. Austin if you're fucking nasty. But tonight I am joined by the sexiest giant in the world, the one, the only giant coyote, and also the man with the T that puts you in pain, Mr. Torture, and we're going to be getting into it right fucking now. Really? Like, baby face and the heels were going on. Dude, I thought he broke his neck. The greatest podcast in the world. True Story Thursdays, greatest podcast in the world. Welcome back. Gentlemen, I'm excited for tonight. I'm keen. I've been looking forward to it. There's been so much shit been going on in the world today and this week. Man, what's been going on, boys?
Man, I am feeling good tonight. It is good to be back here with you and hanging out and spreading the good times, good vibes, and positivity. I'm ready to kick it off and have some fun. And honestly, I'm excited for tonight, guys. It is awesome to be here.
That's the spirit, boys. And my Dow Jones is up by 2.7%. So let's
The stock is up.
The stock's up, boys. That's Saudi money's working.
Bro,
Excellent.
we got people in the chat. We got Achilles here, Keanu.
Hey, Achilles.
Big Matty
Hey, Husey.
We got James Hatton. Man, if you guys want to jump into the conversation, feel free to jump in. If you want to help us out, we are working towards getting a studio where we can give live interviews and also recorded interviews. Our live Thursday show in a studio. So if you want to help us get there, please feel free to throw in a super sticker, or if you're watching on Twitch, send bits, because you know what, every little bit counts, because this is a podcast from the people for the people. So help us out. Let's go.
Woo.
Man,
what a way to kick it off. I love it.
So what's been happening, boys? What's been happening for you guys this week?
Oh man, this week's been hectic for me. I've been training like crazy at the moment. I'm still smashing out training at Sporting Wheelies in Brisbane City, training for the Paralympics, getting stronger each and every week. Managed to hit 4 reps at 90 kilos on bench today, which was awesome. And of course, being at powerlifting, can't use my legs, so it's purely upper body. So that's fun. Been smashing out streams on the Purple platform. And today I signed the deal with a new sponsor, which is super exciting. So big shout out to Centurion Collectibles. So very excited for that.
Well done, brother. Well done. Huge shout out to them, bro. That's massive. Dude, you know what? Like, I always say this. Man, I need to reach out to you on how you do your, like, sponsorship, because you get, like, man, honestly, you pull in some incredible sponsors. And it's like, thanks, you know what I mean? I don't know, like, dude, you have that, you know, like, just the brands that you've been able to do and what you've been able to build so far, bro, is incredible.
Thanks, man. No, it's pretty wild considering, like, when I started streaming, I literally started on a PS4 and a PS4 camera and then just built up to what, you know, the cave's looking like now. And, you know, I'm very, very lucky to work with some amazing companies like Jericho Australia, you know, Juiced Energy, now Centurion. And I worked with Athletic Sports. Like, I've worked with some amazing businesses, Aussie-owned companies, working with small family businesses too, like Nutrition Asylum up on the sunny coast. Like, it's awesome, man. And, you know, I'm incredibly grateful that I can help these family-owned businesses, and they help me as well, like getting the name up there, getting the channel going. Like, you know, Twitch was only ever meant to be a little bit of fun for me when I had my foot reconstruction. And then obviously everything that's happened since then and becoming legless. You know, Twitch is now my full-time job, man. It's what I do. And it's so funny because people go, oh, what do you do for work? I'm like, I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. They're like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's only hams for nerds. I don't have to get naked. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, wait, you all right? Calm down.
do you have like a tiger or a lion sitting next to you, bro? Like,
who knows, man? There's some crazy shit in the streets. But yeah, like, it's so funny. People are like, what do you mean you make money playing video games? I'm like, that's what I do. I play video games. I make people smile, and yeah. Different kind of legless.
Yeah, but you know what? Like you mentioned, like starting, like when you started streaming off, like like small little things and building.
Yeah, man.
Like, dude, you go back and you watch like my very first podcast, and I'm like sitting in my kitchen with like a shitty laptop that was so fucked, and I'm wearing like the iPhone corded thing with my mic and earphones. Bro, it was like I look back at it and it's so cringe. Like my first podcast, I was like screaming my intro because I thought I had to be this over the top character to grab your attention. So I'm like, what's going on? And I go, oh.
But that's all part of the fun, man. You look back on it and go, holy shit, like that's where I started, and then that's where you go to. Like, you know, I've been so lucky to organically grow over the past nearly 4 years now with Twitch, and like, you know, to build up to 2,000 followers, and then hit by a follower bot on Friday night, which was amazing. Thanks to some douchebag troll who's like, I'm going to raid this guy down and smash him with a virus. I'm like, dude, thanks. I'm going to take those 3,000 fake accounts and I'm going to use them. So, like, my Twitch page now says 5,000 followers. 3,000 of them may be fake, but I'm going to use it until Twitch goes, yeah, no, I'll fix that.
But do you reckon they'll just leave them there for you? Like to go, let it go.
I don't know, man. Like the fact that someone, like I spoke to a couple other streamers because it's never happened to me before. I've had a hate raid. Hate raids are absolutely cooked. But a hate raid is when you finish your stream, you raid into someone else's channel. So you take your viewers and give them to someone else to enjoy their stream.
Yeah.
A hate raid is where someone literally makes a computer program and they're like, I'm going to raid, Piers Austin's Twitch channel. And they come into the raid and they spam your chat with racist, hateful comments, take screenshots of it and then send it to Twitch. And they're like, oh, this guy's encouraging racism and, is an absolute douchebag. And they try to get your channel shut down.
Really?
Yeah, man. So that's the whole idea of a follower bot. Like, that's what happened to me on Friday night. So they're going to be like, hey, this guy got 3,000 followers in a couple of minutes. He's clearly buying people and doing it the wrong way. So I was like, look, I'm not going to let you troll me in my channel and what I've worked too hard for, but I'm going to use the work that you put in as a positive. I've reached out to Twitch and gone, hey, this is what's happened. And yeah. So I'm just going to roll with it. I'm not going to let someone bring me down. I'm going to use their negativity as a positive.
Bro, I would have just honestly, if I saw that on my Twitch channel, and my Twitch channel is like non-existent for some reason. Like everyone is on YouTube, which I appreciate my audience for tuning in live and watching everything we do. And YouTube is like a permanent thing, so my content's always there. But like, I don't know, for my type of content, I don't see a lot of people from Twitch. So if I woke up one day and went, holy shit, I've just gotten 3,000 user followers on Twitch, man. I'd be like, but were they they can actually be like live views as well, or is that like? Yeah,
so it counted as live views and everything. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I had to end the stream because I didn't know how full on it was going to be and what to do in that sort of situation because it was the first time it happened. But I reported it to Twitch. I reached out to a couple other streaming friends, and I was like, hey, this is what happened. What's the best advice? And a lot of them like, just roll with it. I'm like, okay. They're like, we know you're about goals and smashing them, but they've just taken you up to 5,085 followers. Set your new follow goal is 5,100. I'm like, done. I'm now 8 followers away from 5,100. So, I'm just using it as a positive until Twitch, resets it.
Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah. But, man, I'm not going to let me bring it down. Like, I've been having so much fun on stream lately, man. Like, the streams have been going off, and I've got such an incredible community, which I'm so thankful for. And, we talk about anything and everything, and it's amazing. It's so much fun. I like to smash Pierce's goal. Mate? Oh, my.
Do you want to elaborate on
no, that my goal is exit only. We got a random question for you, bro. What straight spirits and hot sauce do you have at home?
Okay, Mitchell's got a confession. Mitchell's not exactly sober tonight.
What else is new, bro?
If anyone hasn't realised. And as of about just as kickoff started the Penrith game, I have said run out of straight booze. So I'm disappointed in myself a little bit because the weekend's coming, so I have to sort that problem.
So we'll get this man some booze.
Yeah, I just went over budget here. I got to get a, you know what I mean? Like, you get your set budget. Just wrestling money's not cutting it.
But bro, didn't you have get like heaps of like bourbon and cokes and like spirit?
Yeah. So what that story was, I don't know. It was.
Whoa. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. No, backtrack. I had a mate who was getting rid of some. I think we bought about 100 mixes between bourbon and them hard solos for a first birthday.
Wow.
Uber run was made at about 6 p.m. that night for more. And let's say it was a very bad 3 days afterwards. It was not good.
Dude, that is.
I think so, Achilles.
Make your only of every other. Make a what? I don't know what that means.
Make your only hams every other mother effer does. So he's telling you to make only hams. But I only do only stumps. Subscribe now to Only Stumps.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Hey guys,
I've heard of people being out there paying to watch people eat food. Well, I'm sure there's someone out there to be like, yeah, put some barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say this to our live chat. Everyone, can you please go out, share this live out, whether you're watching on YouTube. Let's get a lot of people in here. We're here for the good fun, and we're going to be getting into it. You know what, bro? Like, it's funny. I saw something like the other day, and so I don't know. Lately, I've been doing like random posts sometimes, and sometimes people get what I'm posting, and sometimes people don't get what I'm posting. But like, I posted something the other day, and it actually got a lot of it was very all positive of a response that I got, and it was basically going in and sort of saying to people that are on wrestling shows that are non-professional wrestlers,
right?
And it's about how to present yourself. And I was saying, and I felt like after I wrote this post, I'm like I'm kind of telling someone basic life skills here. Like this is like a certain thing. And it was more like, have your clothes, make sure they're neat, tidy, dry, clean, press, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be a suit, but you can.
So you're saying wash your fucking gear.
Yes. I'm saying wash your gear, wash your ass. But like be presentable.
General hygiene.
But also,
general hygiene's a thing.
Hey, Kel, wash your fucking gear.
It was stuff like that, and just basically listen to what is asked of you and do what you were told. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get
it. And basically when you get to a certain stage, when you've been around enough, you can then, hey, what about this? Or, hey, I've got an idea. But when you're just getting in, you shut the fuck up and do what you're told, because it's a complete new world to you, no matter how long you've been a fan of the business. Once you start getting into it, there's certain criteria I feel like you should meet. And I've seen on some shows, some people that are non-wrestlers who have an opportunity to be on a show, whether it's big or small. And, even a small show, like I will still turn up with a clean shaved head, freshly lined up beard, immaculate suit. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people there or 1,000 people there. That is what you get when you pay someone like me, a professional. And I've seen people at shows that have matty hair and they're supposed to be a general manager and a fucked up beard. Like, it just, man, respect the business.
Yeah. It's like I've always said to people, even if you're not booked on a show, you bring your gear. You make sure you're ready. If you're rocking up to a show, you be there presentable, show that you're professional. If you act professional, you're going to be professional. You don't want to rock up, without wearing shoes, ripped pants. It's not a look, it's not a vibe. And people are going to just be like, ugh, don't want to work with that guy. Like,
no,
it's a business. You are a business. You're presenting yourself as a business to a promoter to invest in you, to invest their money and the fans' hard-earned money into booking you. And it's one of the biggest things that shits me lately is people just rock up and they don't have proper gear. They don't look the part, or, they go out and do not even 2 minutes and they're there gasping for air. It's like, dude, the hell are you doing? Like,
Well, it's a job, isn't it? At the end of the day, we're paid to do it, whether it be $3 or bloody $300, we're paid to do it.
Exactly right.
You're not expected to go to work in, your girlfriend's fucking shorts and a fucking crop top and be like, yeah, sweet, I'm good to go.
Yeah,
your best set of fucking Crocs, you know what I mean? Like, you got to look respectable, look the fucking part. And it's not that, I don't know, I like getting a haircut. It's not that fucking hard.
Yeah.
But bro, like to me, like that's the thing. Like I would never leave my house not looking. You know what I mean? Like, besides going up to the shop or something, but if I'm going out or I'm going somewhere, I'm going to be fresh, clean, head shaved, like looking on point, because I like to look good. And you feel when you're looking good, you're feeling good. Man, like you go in with a positive energy, you go in with a confident energy. When you go in there and you're like dragging ass, your hair's all fucked up, your beard's like manky.
Like you see it with a lot of companies when they do like their talent arriving at the venue, they're dressed up nicely. You see it all the time. People coming up the escalator in suits, nicely dressed. It's not that hard to do. And like, the thing is, like, the bigger companies around the world are watching everything. Like, plain and simple, they are watching to see how you look, how you present, everything. They're not going to want to see someone just rock up in, their favorite band tee and some shorts and thongs. Like, no. And you even see that on people's Instagrams and stuff like that. Like, Pro Wrestling League, IWA, PWA, they all do it, man. Like, they film their talent arriving at the show in nice suits, nice outfits, and it makes it look professional. And that's what this is about. We're professional wrestling. We're not, yes, wrestling started in the carnies and all that sort of stuff, but it has evolved so much. And especially in Australian wrestling now over the past couple of years, we're reaching another level, and you've got to get rid of the shit. Like, it's time to evolve.
Too, like, you got the kids and like things like that look up to you, or not even look up to you, for essentially to them for that night. You're a larger than life person. Like, it's not that hard, like, to look the part. So when they come and get a photo, it doesn't look like they're just taking a photo with the bloke off the side of the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't be wrong, I don't rock up in a suit. I got a nice pair of jeans. I'll grab my Jordans. I'll grab a denim fucking jacket.
That's all you got to do, man. Yeah. But you're also still portraying your character as well, though. Like, you've still got to be in character.
Oh, look, it depends. Like, if you're rocking up in the middle of summer and it's a 40, like I went and did Newey Pro and I turned up in, like, I didn't rock up in a singlet. I had I had a polo shirt on, some shorts.
Yeah. And you still look presentable, though, man. You're not up in torn up outfits and clothes, man. Like, you're
not rocking up in Clyde's footy shorts and a wife beater, bro. Let's put it that way.
Like,
you're not rocking up in the Mount Hewitt Sunday church clothes. You know what I mean?
Like, whenever I wrestled interstate, no matter what, I always had a button-up shirt over the top of what I was wearing, nice shorts, and I looked presentable. And you get there, you say hello and thank everyone, like, shake everyone's hand. Doesn't matter who they are, you shake every single person's hand in that room, and then you go put your bag down. Like, it's not hard to be professional.
No,
it's really not.
I completely agree.
I just don't get where it got. I don't get where it got lost. Like, when I did my training, like, as much as we were drilled in, this is how you're safe in the ring and everything else, like, TNT drilled it into our head that this is how you conduct yourself. The way you conduct yourself is a reflection on me. I'm not having you go out there and fucking do this. Then that's a reflection on me. And I got things wrong when I first started. I got my ass torn.
Oh, we all did, man.
But it's prepared me for when I get to other situations that, I'm a good reflection, but it doesn't just a good reflection on him. In turn, it's helped me be a good reflection on myself.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it's even just everyday life.
But you even mentioned PWA, right? And and this isn't me throwing any type of shade here at all. This is just something I observed. So when Jess Troy won the heavyweight title there, right? Madison Eagles was in the ring, raising her arm, everything like that. Great moment. how Madison was, Madison was dressed like she just got off a couch. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, she's a legend, and I'm not throwing any shade here, but like, this is the premium promotion of the country, right? This is a big moment. And like, even like I've seen, like, there was a girl on an EWA show. She turned up and she was very beautiful. And everyone there, like even the women were going, "Oh, wow, she's so beautiful." I'm like, yeah, but look how she's dressed. She looks like she's just rolled off the couch from watching Netflix. Like, mate, you know what I mean? Like, yes, she's a stunning woman, this woman here, right?
Yeah.
Let's make her more stunning by, the outfit. And I'm not saying over sexualize or anything like that, but there's way to accentuate it and just make it bigger than, I don't know. Am I making sense there? Or?
No, I understand that. I totally get that. And again, it also, when you see talent in the ring and they're just wearing, a pair of track pants and a singlet, it doesn't look good. Like, people are there to pay hard-earned money to see professional wrestling. They want to see larger-than-life characters, good versus evil. And also, this is like, some people are coming to a live wrestling show for the first time ever. Yeah. So you want to give them and create those special moments and memories. So they're like, holy shit, that was amazing. I'll be back next month or whenever the next show is. You want to make sure that you leave a really good lasting impression, because if they rock up and they see a venue that's horribly set up, shit production, the quality in the ring, they're going to go, this is dumb, and just leave. Like, they're not going to come back. And then eventually they may even go tell people, oh, I went to this wrestling thing. It was terrible, Yeah.
Glenn Eade, he in the comments says, can you do a big shout out to Zuzu, Muscle Clown legend? He is a great wrestler, and it's sad to see him.
Zuzu retired?
Yeah, bro. Like, huge shout out to Zuzu, man. And you know what, bro? Like, I'm gonna sort of break down a fourth wall here, right? So, Zuzu, like, I interviewed quite a few people that were like anti-deathmatch, and there was a lot of stuff probably about a year ago. And he hit me up and he goes, hey, man, I'm not really liking a lot what I'm hearing on the podcast. How about you bring me on and let me give you my perspective of it, of someone who actually does deathmatch wrestling and does this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and then I was like, yeah, man, sounds good. Saw him at a show, walked up, shook his hand. And I said, man, you are like one of the only real like men in this business, because everyone else would either go online or go in my comment section and talk shit, but you hit me up direct. You came to me as a man and hey, I don't like what you're saying. I want to come on and I want to, bro, I'm all for it. I'm open to a healthy debate. And after that,
man, 100%.
Me and Zuzu, I'm not saying we're best buddies, but we probably message each other once every couple of like weeks or every week or whatever. So I do consider him a friend and a brother. You know what I mean? Nice, like to see him retire and to see what happened, it's I'm just sad.
What happened? I may have missed that. What happened?
Tore his bicep.
He tore his bicep.
Oh,
early
shit.
on, him and Mad Max Ramirez, it was just a fluke accident. Apparently, it just happened early.
Right.
But we weren't doing anything out of the ordinary. Apparently, it was just something simple.
How it happens, man.
I think he said, he goes, you might even been throwing a punch or something, you know what I mean? Like he said, it was just so simple and it was just unfortunate. Like, the bloke
man, that sucks. Good. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, dude. And the thing is, like, one of the things he said, he goes, I continued the match when I probably shouldn't have. And to me, I just, like, bro, like, because I hear one of my friends saying that, and I'm just like, man. Dude, what, like, in front of how many people, bro? Like, let's say 100, 200, right? Like, let's be, right? In front of 200 people, you're going to go an extra 10 minutes, bro, like, when you're hurt. Fuck that shit, bro. You're not making a full-time living off it. Like, that's when you take the shit home.
Can I be the devil's advocate, though, on that? Because I've been in a position where it's been something went wrong or you've been hurt or whatever. And I don't know if everyone feels like this. It's just me just saying it for what it is. I also kind of feel that it doesn't matter to me if there's 60 people, 200 people, or 2,000 people. If they've paid a ticket to see me, and I've been in there and I don't remember anything that's happened. But I feel that I've got an obligation to give them people what they came to see. Even if it's not, I'll still feel that I owe them something.
That's the old school. That's the old school mentality, though, man. Like you want to finish the match, like you want to get it done for them, and like a really crazy example of this is back in 2008, I watched Aussie Wolf wrestle Chris Hero, and he broke his arm in the match off a powerbomb off Hero, and still wrestled for another 10 minutes. Hits a German suplex on Hero while holding his broken arm. Like, it was wild, man. Like, crazy shit. Like, you see guys do these, like, break bones and stuff like that and try to keep wrestling, or, you know, they're so knocked out of it that they want to keep going. But the thing is, it's okay to stop, because especially this day and age, the crowd knows what's happening. They know that it's live theater and that the injuries are real. And especially what we know this day and age when it comes to, you know, concussions and brain damage and all that sort of stuff, man, it's not worth keep going. Like, the fans are going to understand if you're hurt, you know?
We got Zuzu. We actually got Zuzu in the chat, and hey, Zuzu. I reckon, like, if Zuzu's down, we bring him on next Thursday with us. If he's down,
yeah, 100%. I've got all the time.
Yeah.
Like, let's call a spade a spade. I'm rough around the motherfucking edges. Like, you're running the show, and I'm there. Fuck, I'm probably a lot to deal with at times, but Zuzu was one guy that had all the time in the world for me. So I have nothing but respect for the bloke.
Zuzu and I always had really good chats, man. Like, we didn't get to work with each other much, but when we did get to chat, it was awesome, man. Like, and you know, I've always had an opinion on. I've always had an opinion on deathmatch wrestling, and like I've even said to you, Piers, like, I'm not a fan of it, but if it's done right and has a reason, it's fucking magic. It really is. Like, you know, but you know, Zuzu was one of these guys that always put the work in. He always looked his best, and he actually gave a shit about the industry as well. And unfortunately, he seemed to always, I don't know, people seemed to give him a rough time, which wasn't fair in my opinion. But yeah, I've got nothing but love for the guy. Like, it was always fun hanging out with him and talking with him and talking about training and bodybuilding and shit like that. So, no, I hope he's okay, and I hope he heals up quickly. Like, you know, and yeah, he's a great guy. I can't say enough.
Real gentleman.
Yeah, I never got to share the ring with him, honestly. I'm absolutely spewing.
But you know what? We talk about injuries. I remember, like, the FWA Rumble, and I think it was last year, and like, you know, me managing Vinny Vane, I'm out there ringside for a fucking for a Rumble match, which was just insane. I was probably sweating more than yeah, exactly. And Vinny took a knee to the face. Yeah, and it was terrible. Like, he couldn't stand up. Like, he was laying on the thing, and I'm going, bro. I go, can you get up? And he goes, man, I don't know.
I don't even know where I am.
No, he knew where he was. He's like, bro, I'm just like. I go, get out of the ring, let's go. And he's like, nah, bro, like, I'm in the main final blah, blah, blah. I said, bro, this is done. Like, no, let's get the fuck out. And he's like, I'm good. And he said to me, he's like, I'm good. I said, well, you need to get the fuck up and show me you're good, or I'm going to, like, me and Banks going to pull you out of the ring and take you to the back.
Full and audible. Yeah, no, that's fair, man. And sometimes that's what needs to happen. Like, it's really funny. Like, I ran a training seminar recently. And I asked the people there in the seminar, I said, how many wrestlers are in the ring in a singles match? And they're like, 2. I'm like, is there? They're like, 3? I'm like, what's the ref? They're like, well, usually they're trained wrestlers. I'm like, right. And what are they there to do? They're like, referee? I'm like, no, they're also there to help protect you. Like, if shit gets wrong, they know how to help in that situation. And, you know, if you need to end the match quickly and safely, they're able to do that. Like, that's a big thing I love training with people, is like worst case scenario drills, or you've taken a hit to the head. What are you going to do to keep going? Like, yeah, can you keep going? How do you assess the situation? And I think that's one of the big things that's also missing in a lot of training aspects, is those sort of scenarios, you know, like, you know, a guy's taken a bump, he spiked himself, can't feel his legs. What do you do? You know, like, how do you end that safely and correctly, you know? And that's a big thing that needs to be taught, you know, especially, and we touched on this last time that we were chatting about injuries in pro wrestling, and what to do in that situation and how to go about it and protect the people in the ring as well as in the crowd and stuff. So I think that's a big thing that needs to be spoken about more.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like, I feel like they shouldn't be ashamed to say, hey, I'm hurt, I can't go.
No one's ever going to get angry at you if you call a match off short, or something else happens, or it goes a different way. And if someone's going to go off at you because of that, that's not cool.
If they do, they shouldn't be in the business. Let's call a spade there.
Yeah.
So, like, not to get off topic here, but T, how many JD and Cokes have you got there?
27.
I got 1.5 left.
Okay, so
and
who?
Before you even tell me to scull them, there's not a goddamn chance. I'm telling you now, the cola is not sitting in my stomach good at all.
Oh no!
Like, you know what I mean? Like Coke, I can do. That's why I used to get straight bottles. But whatever they put in this like premix shit, it just doesn't sit well in my gut at all. I don't know what the go is. Like, I'm wrong. We're still going to drink it. Against everything we just said, we're going to power through it. But
oh man!
So what if someone
going right out the fucking window?
What if someone throws in a large amount of bits or super stickers? Would you? I will
do the micro watch along in my undies.
There you go. When we do the micro wrestling watch along, if someone actually no, we probably get banned off Twitch for that.
They've changed a lot of the T's and C's now, though, man.
I got enough to go through the.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look, you can now twerk on Twitch. You can even set up a stripper pole. As long as you don't get completely naked on stream, you're good.
Let's be fair, there's going to be no bulge. I have to get a stop down there anyway. So really,
well, chat. If you want to see T rock up to our watch along when we do micro wrestling watch along, make sure that you whoever throws in the largest amount of bits or the largest super sticker in the next 10 minutes. So we're at 31 minutes. At 41 minutes, we'll go from there. And Achilles has thrown in $10. He says, brother, you were the only bloke that shared that rumble bumping with me, and you're going to do me dirty like this. He says, go half, then do a shot of hot sauce.
I don't have hot sauce. Honestly, I've been, besides, he decides to booze. I've been eating as clean as a motherfucker heading into April. That's ridiculous. It's them tidy whities. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it in tidy whities. Fuck it. I'll watch the granny panties. Fuck that. I'll do it.
Hopefully that watch along isn't that when we were in the studio. Hopefully we do that one virtually, because I don't think I could sit there for a couple of hours with anyone there.
Oh no,
that's funny.
Oh, dude. So the micro wrestling watch along, we're going to do it?
Yes. Me and Sarge have found it. There's the scoop. We found it.
Hell yeah.
You've got it. Okay, cool.
We've got it. So we're in the process of trying to sort out how we can pay for it and whatnot, and it's on. We've found it where we can watch
Coyote,
it.
you want in on this?
When are you looking at doing it?
God knows when yet, but I'm telling you, I'm so heavily invested. Like, this is going to be my WrestleMania. Like, I am so fucking invested.
It is one of the funniest things we'll ever see.
And these cats are unreal. They're wild.
Yeah, no, it's pretty gnarly. I follow the micro wrestling guys on Insta and always pop for them, especially Psycho.
Micro cat's my guy, buddy.
Yeah. Yes. Micro Tiger.
Who was the guy I like? There was one I really liked.
Baby Jesus, he's good too.
Knee-high.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Knee-high. Knee-high was the one I popped for the most. But
Disco John.
Dude, I feel like those micro wrestling superstars need some veteran advice though.
They do. And good thing if they're tuning in here. We have a segment they can sponsor later if they're filling out these houses while they are. But yes, they really do need some advice, and lucky enough, we can give it to them.
Well, we can't give it to them because we're not veterans.
Oh, we know a guy.
We do know a guy, and it is time for veteran advice with Tobias Hemmingsworth Jr. the Third.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you walk in. My name is Tobias Hemmingsworth Jr., the 3-year veteran of Australian professional wrestling and your personal professional wrestling etiquette coach. And this is example number 5. Let's say you're in the ring with someone who has 10 years experience, and they're pissed off of how obnoxious you've been online, and they punch you as hard as they can in the face, they stiff you, they go into business for themselves. What do? Do you hit them as hard as you can back in the face? No, that's playing in to exactly what they want. Here's what you do instead. You roll out of the ring, no matter where it is in the match. You hold your face and you say, "Hey man, that's not cool. Be professional." And make sure you say it loud enough for your adoring fans to hear, so we can get them cancelled online. Because no one breaks this moneymaker. Insane.
Oh, Coyote.
What the hell was that?
Oh, huge super sticker there from Adam. $14.99. Thank you so much.
It's not a drinking problem if I don't go to meetings.
Bro, dude, what the hell? What advice was that? Was incredible advice, right? That was great. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get into a shoot fight in the ring. Like, he's literally giving you.
Just go to Twitter and be like, "Coyote chopped me too hard. Hashtag cancel him."
Hashtag speaking out movement. Coyote's done.
That's it. I'm done. That's it.
Oh, you weren't a fan of Tobias Hemmingsworth Jr. the third?
Look, man, I'll be the bigger giant and hop away in this situation. You know, I've only got one leg to stand on, and I don't know. I can't even put my best foot forward right now. Like, I'm legless as it is.
Oh,
Just can't put my foot on it. It's like was said really badly then.
Achilles wants to end him. Like, Achilles has legit hatred for Tobias.
I can hear Achilles raging right now and like sharpening his axe. He's like, I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find him.
I'm gonna find this fucking man.
It was pretty tame
was.
this week. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, compared to, like, you know, previous.
I've seen a couple of those before, but my God, wow.
Yeah, dude.
That was the thing.
He's just writing AEW's playbook, really. Just first match out of the ring, 20 minutes, Blade, get back in.
Dude, what about, like, talking about AEW? Like, we were talking about, like, we were talking about this before, and oh my God, look at Coyote. He's just like sculled that down.
What a man.
That was straight. That was straight to kill, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Like, that was like,
maybe.
Yeah, like that's how much of a man Coyote is.
Yeah. Tony Khan sent it to me in the mail.
I only bust out the Stein on special occasions, and I thought tonight was a special occasion, so I thought I'd get the Stein out.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's usually sitting in the back of the cave.
It was pre-workout. I swear.
Oh, man, I haven't got the fire on. Hold on.
Nah, dude, so we saw a little bit of news that came out this week that apparently Tony Khan has hatred for Jungle Boy Jack Perry for costing him his CM Punk dog.
Man. I can't believe that. Like, I'd love to know if that's legit or not.
I told you he was a fuckwit. I told you the cunt was a fucking idiot. You heard it here first fucking months ago. Uncle Dave wrote me on my personal fucking teleprompter and said he was a fucking shit. I told you all, Jungle Douche is the same. They got fucking nothing.
Oh, bro. Like, I feel the same way. Like, honestly, I feel Jungle Boy is just the guy who got an opportunity because his dad was Luke Perry.
No, he got an opportunity because he fucking cradled the balls and sucked it from the back. Let's call a spade a spade.
Oh, damn.
Fucking don't lie.
Oh,
bro.
My. Yeah, I suppose him and Luchasaurus are one and the same.
No, well, at least Luchasaurus, he took the mask off. He at least looks like a man. Like, now, Jungle Boy just looks like a homeless adolescent. that we're meant to take fucking seriously.
No.
I don't think he fits in New Japan.
It's going to be like at the meet and greet that's like, MJF makes fun of me. Like, fuck off.
No, I enjoyed his stuff with Luchasaurus. I really enjoyed that, and it showed that he could actually really work. But I don't see him as a New Japan guy.
Is he in Bullet Club?
Yeah, man.
Are you
No.
Yeah.
He'll be the leader of Bullet Club, I reckon. Like 6 months.
For Finlay.
The ball from Gray's Day. Let's go through the great Bullet Club leaders. Prince Devitt, AJ Styles, Tony Omega, Jungle Cut.
Wow. How much have you drank today, bro? You're on another level.
I plead the fifth.
That doesn't work out.
I mean, look, what this stuff was leaked by who? Dave Meltzer?
Yeah, I know Meltzer got some stuff really wrong recently. I can't remember what it was, but I remember seeing, like, he made a couple of predictions and he got it horribly, horribly wrong.
Well, dude, I remember like being told by Vince Russo when I worked for Vince that he told me, he's like, back in the day, he goes, the boys used to feed him bullshit and just for fun to see him report on it, and then like for it not to happen, just to pop themselves.
Yeah,
like he's like Meltzer is like, I feel like most of those wrestling, like I call them this wrestling journalists, like, bro, they're not fucking like, I mean, they're marks with a keyboard, bro. Like, let's be real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Dave Meltzer is just,
Well, speaking of Russo, I heard a really interesting rumor the other day that apparently he's potentially heading to the Hall of Fame.
Before Jim Cornette.
Apparently,
oh my days.
Apparently, they want to put Russo in the Hall of Fame.
You know what? I like, honestly, I can't say enough positive things about him. And it's like the hardcore wrestling marks from the 90s. And like, bro, like he killed WCW, he blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you straight out. I worked for Vince for a couple years. He was always incredible. He's a caring, he's a loving human being. And the respect I have for him, bro, like, yeah, bro. Like, I've asked him, I was like, bro, how do you deal with this constant bullshit that you get on social media? It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I don't know these people. He goes, it hurts more when it's people I've known for 20 years.
Yeah.
He goes, and they go and say shit. And there's never been a beef. He goes, that shit stings.
Well, like, we were talking about it in my stream last week. I think it was actually Jester that brought it up. And at first I was like, nah, man, he's never going to go. He's never going to go in the Hall of Fame. Like, they're not going to let that happen. And then like, because obviously people only think of what he did in WCW, but people totally forget about, why is Muhammad Ali in the Hall of Fame? Because he was at WrestleMania 1 and he was a special guest ref. He is part of WrestleMania. People forget about what Russo did in the 90s, man, with the Attitude Era and stuff like that. Like, he did some really good stuff. And, you know, I think he deserves to be in there for sure. Like,
and bro, the thing about him is, like, the reason why people don't like him is because he's a New Yorker, and I've known a lot of guys in New York. And one thing about them, they're pretty much exactly like how we are, bro. Like, fuck, I'm even dropping bros now. But, you know, very straightforward, no holding back. What you see is what you get. There's none of this like, oh yeah, you just see what you get, and there's no it's not working you, bro. Like, it's a straight shoot.
And New York's my favorite city on this planet, man. Like, I went to New York in 2014 and I just absolutely loved it. You know, it was incredible. And Jess is right. Yeah. Russo and TNA, like early days of TNA, the shit was gnarly as. Like, New York's so much fun, man. It's such an incredible place. Like, if you ever get the chance to go there, it's beautiful. It's like, especially Central Park, like, it's this beautiful park in a concrete jungle, and it's just wild. So I think of the finger poke of match.
Well, bro, he wasn't the booker then.
No, I think of that Pope-mobile that he drove out. When I think of Russo, I think of that Pope-mobile on WCW.
That was gold.
Whatever it was, the Pope car.
The bulletproof casing and everything.
That popped me something fierce.
Dude, I love that shit. But yeah, like he tells it how it is, man. And if he ends up getting his flowers and going in the Hall of Fame, man, that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
You know who else I think needs to be in the Hall of Fame? And it's like there was a bit of a thing going around. Stevie Richards. He's another guy.
Yeah.
He's definitely, if not this year, maybe the next few years.
Yeah. Definitely. And he's also done a lot of work recently helping people and working with DDP and stuff like that, because I'm pretty sure he's still an instructor for DDPY. He's not anymore? Okay, fair enough. I did. But like he's done some awesome stuff, man. And like everything he did in ECW, WWE, you know, it was awesome.
No, Kevin Nash was.
Yeah, Nash was.
I'm a massive Richards mark. I'm a massive Stevie mark. Last Halloween, I dressed up as the B with BWO. I'm a massive.
Hell yeah.
Mark.
Well, you said it once on here, you'll get him on, and I absolutely shit bricks and ran and got my crop top.
I can try and get him on for a Thursday night because he's up pretty early.
Yeah, nice.
But you know what? Like talking about, we have dropped that Mark word, so I think it's time for
Mark Says What?
It is time for Mark Says What. This is Torch's favorite segment, Coyote. So we got quite a few. So I don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but we'll start it off. And this is the first one that we found, which says we did that last week, didn't we?
What?
Sorry, guys. Here we go. This is the first one from All Elite Marks. So the name is in the name of the page here. Tony Khan said Mercedes Moné was perfect to be the face of AEW. I deeply disagree. Okay, how much you financially invest in AEW? Sky Blue is the face of AEW. Never heard of her. Alternatively, maybe Julia Hart. Never heard of her. These two girls made the AWE women's division what it is. Great. Okay. She has to earn her keep here, and she ain't as over these two, right? Bro, like even reading that made me feel like it was a stroke, bro. So Mercedes Moné is a superstar.
What?
Hang on, there was one I saw today. I'm going to see if I can quickly find it on the old Facebook. I read it and I was like, this person needs some divine intervention. Hang on, let's see if I can find it.
That dude, like, okay, so Sasha Banks is a household name. But like, you know what I mean, let's be real, was in WWE for over 10 years, on the main roster for over 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, no, you again, Facebook marks just.
Marks says what?
What do you say?
Yeah, but if we turned around and made these two the faces of AEW, these same fucking people would turn around and go, no, we think Sasha Banks, what, should be the fucking thing, what? These motherfuckers are never happen.
Oh, 100%. Let's have a look at the next one. So the next one says, what if Rock fires Triple H and then Triple H uses his funds to buy shares and join AEW? Would you then start watching AEW? No, I would not start watching AEW, and that is the most...
what do you mean? We just said we're doing a watch-along, aren't we?
I'm not watching AEW, though. Fuck that. I'll watch the
micro wrestling, AEW, same.
Oh, Vanilla Midget style. Okay.
So you're not a fan of AEW at all, Piers?
Nope, never watched it.
Yeah,
Actually, no, I watched a full show a couple months ago when I had to do a review of one for a friend of mine. Right. And I was like, holy fuck, can this just end? Like, I was just and before that, before that and after that, never watched a full show. Just couldn't bring myself to it.
I used to watch AEW Dark before I did this year. I used to watch AEW Dark. I'd go to Trauma's house. We'd get on the fucking beers and start paying the fucking living cunt out of it, eh?
Yeah.
We're just picking like random cunts. Like we had Ryzen jobbing every week, but he was our boy and we'd cheer him on knowing he was going to get fucking beat.
Oh. I think sometimes with AEW it can be hit and miss, and also they have such a oversaturation of a roster that people are missing out on opportunities and stuff. Like obviously they've just signed Will Ospreay, which I love Will. I have a lot of respect for him, and he's helped me out so much. When I got to work with him in 2018, like he got me to stand on the top rope, and I was doing hurricanranas on Will Ospreay. Like it's like pretty fucking cool. But like, yeah, and then obviously, you know, you got Omega and stuff like that. Now they got Okada, so like they're definitely got the names like Eddie Kingston. I've loved Eddie since the Chikara days, man. Like I loved watching him in Chikara. Like, it was,
Dude,
but that's the thing for me. Like they got guys that can work.
yes, 100%.
Eddie Kingston to me is one of the most greatest promos, underrated promos of all time. I remember seeing him do a promo like in the early 2000s at a Tournament of Death 4. Like for CZW, and what the promo that he did, like, dude, like I don't mark out and go, oh wow, like whatever. Like I remember, I watched it like a couple of years ago, and I'm just like, oh
yeah, dude.
Now I did it once. I
real
did mark out an AEW segment once. I think it was MJF when he was doing a promo. He was like telling a story type of deal where he had like this high school girlfriend and shit. And they were drinking and they crashed the car or whatever else. And he goes, I did what any respectable man of my stature would do. I got in the passenger seat and I switched her into the driver's seat and I blamed the whole thing on her. I'm like, you fucking that got me. I'm like, that was good. You fucking need to make yourself a prick. You did it.
Well, Sensational LJ94 says amazing talent, but TK needs major help on the booking front. Listen, bro, Tony Khan reminds me of the guy that pulls his underwear down to his ankles when he goes to take a piss at a urinal. Like, I mean, like he is without a doubt one of like just like I don't know, bro. He's just soft.
I think that's I don't even think it's so much we hate it. I think it's so much that's the frustrating part.
He's got all this amazing talent and doesn't know what to do with them or how to treat them right.
Be ignorant to say, look at half that roster and go, they don't know how to work. There's cunts there that are phenomenal.
Oh, 100%.
So why can't we get invested?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next one here. So this is says, like father, like son, Jericho has been dumped on his head in 2 generations now. Hashtag Taz, hashtag Hook, hashtag AW Dynamite.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Like, bro, imagine being that level of a mark that you have to like go and find that and then screenshot that image. Like, that is a lot of effort just to put it out on like Twitter.
I don't even think Jericho would have gave that a second thought.
Yeah, no. He would have been like, oh, I wrestled your dad back in the day, but that was it. Like,
yeah. Like to Jericho back then, it was like, yeah, I wrestled your dad at ECW, like an indie.
Yeah.
Like back, I mean, because that's what it was back then. It was just an indie show, like.
Yeah, man.
But all right, let's go to the next one. So, oh my God, I feel like this is just like an AEW bashing session. Tony Khan, Jen Pepperman, no idea who she is. Will Washington, no idea who you are. Brian Danielson should really do that brand split on hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag AEW Collision. I think it's time, lady and gentlemen. Didn't they try and do a brand split when like CM
Do you
Punk?
think with that, like Coyote said, there's an oversaturation? Could that work?
Yeah.
Well, look at back in the early 2000s when there was no WCW in going on. There was no ECW going on. They had like pretty much dominated the market. They had every top professional wrestler in the world at that stage. Doing a brand split they had to compete with themselves. And I think
it worked though at the time.
I just think if they do it, it's just copying WWE too much. They just need to know how to utilize their talent. And
but like the big sorry man, I didn't mean to cut you off there. The big thing is like they've even WE realizes that the drafts and the brand splits don't work anymore. Like it just does not work. They did the draft last year and everyone was still on the same shows and they're like, the draft happened, but we're not enforcing it. Like it doesn't really work, you know.
No, it doesn't. And like you even see it, like you see people jumping back and forth and stuff like that. And if they can do it, like I think like WWE did it for a while.
And they did it well.
Oh, dude, when they had like the SmackDown 7 or the SmackDown 5 or whatever it was, like the whole hanging was cute.
Yeah, and Taker, like the world champ, could go to Raw and SmackDown. I think Taker was the champ at the time, and it was awesome, man. Like when they actually had the rules, like champions were allowed on both brands, but if you were drafted to a particular brand, you stayed there, and that was awesome because you weren't sure who was going to rock up and challenge who and stuff like that. Like that was a lot of fun.
Bro, that's because most the AEW marks are just they want what
Jericho's
they
been
want.
putting people over though. Like
Exactly, bro. But you know what? You know, this just goes to prove, right? So Jericho was almost cancelled for being a sex pest, right?
I heard about that, yeah.
And nothing has slowed him down.
No.
You know what I mean? Which just goes to show, like, canceling culture only happens if the majority of the people don't want anything to do with you, or if you just stop making noise or stop making content in whatever sense of the world. Like, I've said some pretty fucked up shit on this podcast. You know, I'm sure we've all said pretty fucked up shit over the years, but it's just like you just keep moving on. But like Jericho, on the other hand, man, I don't know, like trying to use his position of power for sexual gain, I don't find that cool at all.
No. And like the thing that's always shit me is when people go digging and find stuff from like 10, 15 years ago. They're like, oh, this guy said this. Right. And it's been how long and how much has that person changed? Yet you're going to crucify him for something that they said when they were younger, when, you know, when the world wasn't so sensitive. Like it's messed up, man. And then like people go, oh, look, yeah, at the time that was wrong. I'm sorry. I've learned from it. I've moved on from it. But you don't go costing people their livelihoods and everything else, but for something that they've done when we were all younger and shit like that. Like
it was a different time, bro. Like I was,
we didn't know back then. We didn't know half the shit we knew.
Yeah.
Bro, I was listening to, like, I'm a huge rap fan, right? So if you follow me, you know I'm posting my photos with rap songs. I did like I was listening to some Eminem on the way home, and I was listening to the Marshall Mathers song, which is the diss on ICP, and that's got multiple like homophobic slurs in it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, man.
At the time, that's how you insulted someone, unfortunately. You know what I mean? But as a society, we've developed, we've grown from it, we've learned from it, and we have become better people. But like, you know, then I've heard another diss that he did a couple of years ago on Machine Gun Kelly, and it was way better and had no homophobic slurs, no any sort of connotation to it or stuff like that. And it was just, it was fire as fuck. But it's what works at the time. That's how it's going to be. And also, you know, like I said, I've said some things I'm not proud of over the years, but like at now 41, about to be 42 in a couple of months, I feel like I've learned and developed as a human being and grown. And, you know, we all grow, bro. We all get mature.
100%, man. It's like I've been following it recently because I'm a huge, you know, nerd and pop culture fan. X-Men 97's just been released, which is the reboot of the animated series from the 90s. And in the original 90s series, there was a character called Morph. And Morph was Wolverine's best friend who had the power to be essentially a shapeshifter and could change into different mutants. And he used to morph into Storm and Rogue and everything else. And now that they've rebooted the series, like they've introduced him as a non-binary character. Okay, cool. And there was people having a massive uproar about it because they're like, oh, but in the 90s, he was a guy and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the original creators went, guys, he was a shapeshifter. He changed into a guy. He changed into a guy and a girl. You know, he could be both. So, and that wasn't a term back in the 90s.
No,
we're not. And people are getting so angry about it and like, oh, what are you doing? Don't touch that. Like, it makes sense to do that. Like, it instead of using the word shapeshifter, they've used the terminology non-binary. And but it's so interesting to see how people react in this day and age on those sort of topics and stuff, man. Like, you know, as you said, like Eminem used to do diss tracks, and they were horrifying. You'd be like,
100%.
oh, you couldn't say that this day and age, but he can still, you know, the Machine Gun Kelly one was it was a work of art. I'm sorry, he destroyed him. But it's just so interesting how angry and offended people get over stuff. Like, have you seen the new Crow trailer, the remake of The Crow?
Yes, I have. I've seen people getting an uproar about it. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
Like, what's going on?
Now,
Like,
okay, so The Crow and Terminator 2 are my two all-time favorite movies. Like, they are literally my go-to movies. So if I ever feel down, if I ever feel upset or anything like that, yes, exactly like Ditto, 100%. Okay, so The Crow is an incredible love story. It is. The whole idea of The Crow is that nothing can stop true love, even death. And in the original movie, Brandon Lee's character, who is Eric Draven, is killed by a group of guys, and his fiancée Shelley are killed brutally. And they say, when you die, a crow takes your soul to the other side. But sometimes, if an injustice has happened, something horrible's happened, you can go back and avenge it. Sweet. Brandon Lee also died making The Crow back in the 90s. He died on set.
That was a problem with a stunt gun or something?
Yes. Yeah. It didn't fire correctly. There's also different stories that the gun wasn't properly cleared and there was a bit of metal and it killed him, unfortunately. But they finished the movie because that's what they wanted to do. But the problem with this new movie with Bill Skarsgård, I can never pronounce his name properly, is that they've changed so much about it, and the way the story and everything else, and also making the movie after Brandon died, everyone's like, please don't do this. Like, and people are getting angry because of the way they've changed how they died, the story, and everything else. So, it's interesting to see how fired up people are getting. Like, I don't agree with it being made. I love the movie. It's one of those movies that doesn't need to be remade. It's like The Godfather. You don't go remaking The Godfather.
I would like to see them make like a Godfather 4, 5, 6, like having like. You know what I mean? Like following on from this storyation, but it's too hard.
That's different.
Like
that's different, though.
30 years ago. It was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, longer. Yeah, I think Godfather 1 came out in 1973 off the top of my head. Oh, I'm going to look. Hang on. But yeah, like.
Someone in the chat, let us know.
Yeah. There's some things you shouldn't touch. Like Jason Momoa was going to do The Crow, and from the stuff I saw of that, it looked kind of cool. Yeah, and like, I got to look after Jason Momoa back in 2017. I was his bodyguard, and it was awesome, man. Like, he looks like Jared Leto's Joker. Yes, 100%.
Jared Leto's Joker was like unbelievable.
Oh, it was a year off, 1972. There you
go. Wow.
Wow, there you go. Go woke, go broke. I've never seen that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they do throw that. Like, they do throw around that, but. It's like with the Little Mermaid recently, the remake of the Little Mermaid.
And she was African American or something. The actress
correct.
that played Ariel. I have to say, this is the voice of the crowd.
But here's a really interesting thing, though. Apparently, because of like major movie companies and stuff having to borrow mass amounts of money from banks in America and stuff like that to keep companies open, apparently. They had to, in the contract agreements, the banks have literally stated that there has to be inclusions of different cultures, different representations of people. And if they don't meet that quota, they have to pay back the money in full immediately.
What?
So this is, so I've heard this about this sort of stuff. So like a bank will lend like Disney $100 million.
Yeah.
But they have to do this, this, and this. And if they don't, the bank will instantly demand the money back.
That is insane.
So that's why it's happening where they're changing, like rebooting our favorite movies and stuff with the new inclusion of stuff like that. It's not because the companies want to do it; they're being forced to.
So which bank
supposedly.
Mushu in? Well, so what bank am I going to stone that took Mushu away from Mulan?
Oh, dude, why is there no songs in Mulan? Like, they took away all the songs. Yeah.
Oh,
But you know what? It's funny
It's not
because
that.
I remember a while back, like my kids were sitting there watching TV, and I was watching this kids show, ABC Kids, and it was like this really weird, bizarre type cartoon thing, and they're like just sitting there watching it, and then it's like it's teaching like kids is like, oh yeah, and like one of them is one of the characters being non-binary. Oh no, they have to be they and them, and I'm like. And then my son, this was a while back, and my son, this is probably a year ago. My son, who was 7 or whatever at the time, is like, "What is it? What is non-binary? What's they?" And I'm like, "Nope, done."
Nope. No. That happened in that happened in one of the most recent Transformer cartoons. They were like, they're Optimus Prime's talking to this robot, and he's like, "Oh, you must be him, such and such." And the chick goes, "Did you just assume that they're male?" And Optimus goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, what do you identify as?" And I was like, "Nope, done." Like, and like we spoke about this last time. Like my kids went to public schooling. We now do homeschooling and distance education. And I remember my eldest coming home, Ryan. He's like, "Oh, we're not allowed to say boy or girl at school anymore because it can upset people." And we're like, "You're 8 years old at this time. Like, no, that's," and they're coming home going, "Why are we not allowed to go play with that boy over there?" Or something like that. It's like, dude, no, kids don't need that sort of stuff. Like,
and not just that, when you start to have questions within, like if you've got a question, you got to go and talk to someone. Yeah. When you start to ask questions, I think that's when we need to be prepared to give the answers. Like within yourself if something's different. You don't need to force it upon anyone. And when they start asking themselves questions, they're going to come to us for answers. We're better off dealing with it like that than we are going, "This is what you need to do."
Yeah,
but
and like,
let me ask you this: it's like the pay gap between genders is real. But gender doesn't exist. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like. Let me ask you this: at gender reveal parties, how come there's only 2 colors?
Yeah. But even now they're doing non-gender birth certificates. Like you don't have to put the gender on a birth certificate anymore. Like I've got family members who are gay, bisexual. And they're married, they're happy. You know, one of my dearest friends transitioned, and like, that's awesome. Like, I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for anyone that finds the real them. But even my family members and friends who are part of that community, they don't go force feeding it down and going, "Your kids need to know this." It's like, no, they're kids. Like, you know, just getting a bit controversial for a moment, but yeah.
No, but bro, things, isn't it? The minority for the majority again.
But that's the thing, man. Like, we let's not get our kids to grow up too fast, man. Like, let kids be kids, bro. And as you said, T, like, bro, when it comes down to it, when kids start asking questions and stuff like that, like, dude, I'm probably a couple of years off with my son. He's 8. You know what I mean? Like, give it 4 years, he's gonna have some questions. You know,
my daughter's 10. Like, I'm going to have some questions soon. It just is what it is.
Yeah, my daughter's 7, and she recently asked me, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, where do babies come from?" I'm like, "Nope, not yet."
Yeah, I'm doing the old ask your mother on that one.
Yeah, like we're not having that talk yet. Like kids are kids, and that's what they're meant to be. Like shit, you know. Yeah.
I remember I stitched my son up
absolutely. You got to
once.
support them. Like that's
100%.
it.
I agree. You know? Be respectful to everybody, but if like someone like comes at me sideways for like saying that you're a him or a her, and I don't know you like that, or I say what up, bro.
Like I hate that, man.
Like, dude, I'm like, even that twat that used to be part of DMDU, he did that once, and I was like, just walking, I'm like, "Hey, bro, what's up, bro?" And I'm saying that to like Rochelle Rowe, and, you know what I mean? Like everybody. I'm going, "What's up, brother? What's up, bro?" And he's, "Don't you call me that? I'm not your bro." And I'm like, "All right, Goldberg, relax." I'm like, "Oh, you can call me they, them," and I'm like, "Oh, you fucking twat."
Yeah, like it's so weird though. Like and you saw this. I had an interview for to be Captain Starlight for the Starlight Foundation.
Yeah, that's
and I went to the interview, And it was the first time I've ever experienced this in an interview process. So it was a group interview. So there was about 20 of us. And they're like, okay, we're going to get you guys to introduce yourselves, tell us your name, where you're from, and what your preferred pronouns are. And I'm like, what? like,
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm Coyote, Queensland, part cyborg. Like, like...
But it's like that the Piers Morgan thing where it's like, so I can identify as anything I want, right? Have you seen that?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, this is like popping. Like, I'm just like, this is,
I was respectful. I answered the question. I was like, he, him. That's sweet. But it's like, wow, are we really at that stage where people are so afraid of being, I don't know, misgendered or whatever, like, that you have to ask someone what their pronoun. Like right now, I'm sitting down with two guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But oh shit, I'm so sorry. Like, it's like general manners. Like you open a door for someone, you're like, oh, ladies first. Don't you say that? I was like, oh shit. Like I'm just being polite. Like,
yeah,
it's so wild, man. Like,
But you know what? Like, it's funny. Like these people that sort of carry on like that, like they're just like the human, like fucking like scum of the earth, bro. Because it's like, okay, man, we get it. You want to be angry, you want to be edgy, okay? Like, and I seen like a meme the other day. Is like people who use they them pronouns are just people that are boring, ugly, and uninteresting. and they need something to fucking put them. And to be honest, I'm like sitting there going, don't disagree too much with that.
Like, again, it comes down to like you're respectful of who people are and what they are, and that's fine. Like, I will always be polite and kind to people, but there shouldn't be a backlash from it if you're just being polite to someone, or being kind. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, man. And it's just, like I said, be kind and all that sort of stuff. Like, at the end of the day, I don't go out of my way to offend people. I just seem to do really well. No. Yeah. But, like I said, I will always be respectful to people like that. But if you, if you fuck with me, all right, cool. I'll consider that as like,
you want a declaration of war.
No, not that. But I'm like, okay, you want to fuck with me? You want? All right, I'll fuck back. You know what I mean? But don't get upset if like I'm quicker witted than you or faster with a response than you. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's
crazy.
Speaking
of getting fucked, right?
Yes.
So what happened with you and Trauma on the weekend? Here we go.
Oh, no, we won, mate. We won. We defended the belts. We're fine on that. Well, I was just going to have a serious talk over the last couple of weeks of what's been happening with our little investment portfolio.
Yes, please do. Our sports betting connoisseur here.
Ooh.
I just want to give a shout out to responsible gambling. You should always know when your limits are.
Yep.
And things like that. You should never bet with money that you never had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in saying that, fuck all that advice because we didn't listen to it anyway. So what we've done is we've turned around and said we're either eating caviar or we're having deep breasts for fucking dinner for the rest of the week. Right? Because I've tried to go safe, just yet we only get a couple hundred this. Fuck that. We went balls to the wall. We went completely fucking stupid. And we're either going to get the studio in one fucking hit. I'm going to cry and wank in the corner like I do most nights anyway. So how this is going to go, if Piers can just elaborate and pull this back up for us, we know I've got the memory of a fucking goldfish.
Absolutely.
We've decided we're going to keep with the Roosters. James Tedesco, you're meant to be sponsoring this. Make sure you contact True Story at Instagram because you fucked us the first week. We went with yous again. And we also got Suwali and Dominic Young. Then we're going to have the Cowboys to run through that pathetic side they call the fucking Georgia Illawarra Dragons. And we're going to put Holmes and Felt to score because they should win by a fucking 100, to be fucking honest. Which leads
I love the foosball.
I've done something different here. I've put Cronulla to beat the fucking Rabbitohs. I think they're playing the Rabbitohs, aren't they? What's the second photo, Piers? I think they're playing
here
the
you go. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, they're playing the Tigers. Now, the Tigers couldn't beat the fucking blind school. So I've done something different, and I've backed the back three of Kennedy, Mulatalo, and Katoa to score a combined 3 tries between them.
Serious?
Yeah, so just to clarify, but they all don't have to score. If the wingers get one each and the fullback gets 1 each, we're up. But if the winger gets 2 and the fullback gets 1, we still win. As long as somewhere in them 3 we get 3 tries, which they should win by fucking 300, we should be sweet. And I don't know how Parramatta went in fucking favourites. They're not the favourites in their own household. So we've went with Manly, with Trbojevic and Okatalau. Now, if we can somehow pull this out our ass, we're up for 13 bags.
13 G's.
13 G's if I pulled this out my ass.
Piers, is he speaking tongues? Because I have no fucking clue what he's talking about.
So basically, if his little like picks come off and like the try scorers and all that shit sort of happen, then he's going to win 13 grand.
Nice.
So, which means in studio is coming next week.
Nice.
Oh, man, studios next week with a fridge stock full of piss.
Either that or Torch is going to be in hospital for cirrhosis of the liver after it.
If I'm not in next week on next Thursday and my stroke suddenly drop, we know that got up.
Something's like I'll be totally honest. I don't follow football at all. So like I used to when I was a kid. I used to play rugby league. I was a premiership player in 1996 and 1997, like for under 10s. But I never really kept following it. So
I come from a football family.
Nice, dude. That's sick. That's fair. That's fair.
Dude, I honestly I don't even. I can't even remember the last time I watched a full game. Like,
it's going to be your national sport if this pulls off. You're suddenly going to dump wrestling. You're going to rock around in nothing but football jerseys. Just go, how good's NRL? It's the greatest game of all.
Well, my eldest son, Piers Jr. I'm not saying his real name. But yeah, Piers Jr. He's really into it. So like I'm starting to get into it because it's like it's my son. I want to have something. Of course. So, and he doesn't watch wrestling, even though how much I've tried to pressure him into it. But that's another story.
He'll get that.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get into it, but man, like football has changed. But this is an interesting fact about me. My cousin is the last player in NRL history to be sent off in a grand final.
I know the name.
That's cool.
I know the name.
Let's see if anyone in the chat.
Is Trauma in the chat? If Trauma's in the chat, he'll know it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if anyone in the chat picks it up. I'm not giving the name away.
I guarantee you.
Swooper in the chat says,
you want to talk about that, right? Here's one for you. I told the kids when I had them last, get a to-do list done of things we're going to tick off the list to do this year.
Yeah.
What do you think one of the things was? I want a photo with Ethan Hughes.
Hey.
My son won't take a photo with me, but he wants a photo with Sarge.
Nice.
What is this bullshit? My
Sarge is the best.
favorite wrestler is Max Ramirez. My son's favorite, I've got nothing.
Hey, dude, I'm the same. Like my kids are like, especially my daughter. I'm like, who's your favorite wrestler? She go Yeet or Outback Adam. I'm like,
oh my god. But my son, and I'm not sure if I've said this before on a podcast, but one day, him and his best mate were over, and this is probably they were in kindergarten, so like 2 years ago. And like I've got a couple of wrestling belts here that I've got. And my dad and my son comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Dad, can I take my mate into your office and studio and show him the belts?" I'm like, yeah, go for it, whatever. Like, just don't touch anything. He's like, all right, cool. Goes in there, and I'm in the other room, and I can hear everything. He goes, that's me dad's belts. And his mate goes, oh, is your dad a wrestler? And then I hear my son go, listen, I'm going to tell you something, all right? But you can't tell no one because my dad doesn't like people knowing this, all right? He's like, yeah, my dad used to be a wrestler. He goes, but they made him quit because he was too violent. He just made people bleed all the time, and he scared everyone. And he just and I hear his mate go, oh.
Yeah, that's
and they come out of the room, And I'm like, I'm popping huge for this. I'm like, going, this is hilarious. So I don't want to like just, burst the bubble of my kid. So I'm just like,
of course.
his son just comes out and just looks at me. He's like, his mate's like, oh, and then so his mate gets picked up and leaves, and I'm like, Hendrix. Dropped his name. Sorry. But and he goes, and I said, what, son? What the fuck? Like, not what the fuck, but I was like, why were you talking? I said, that's not the case. I don't do that. And he goes, but you work on wrestling shows, right, Dad? And I'm like, yeah, no, but I don't do that. And he goes, what do you do? And I showed him like a couple of clips or whatever, and he's like, oh, that's what you do? And I go, yeah. And he went, oh. I just went, and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm like getting buried by my own kid. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there going, dude, what I do is pretty cool. And he goes, yeah, I guess, Dad. Just no sold me, and I'm like, what the hell?
It's like with my kids, man, especially with my amputation. I have so much fun with it. And we were at the shops recently, and this kid walks up to me. He's like, what happened to your leg? I'm like, bear attack in Canada. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I was in Canada and a bear ate my leg. And my daughter goes, Dad, that didn't happen. You had a caveman fall on it. And I'm like,
oh, that's even funny. That's even more of a cop for a kid.
But it's because that's what I used to say when I initially got injured. People are like, what happened? I'm like, caveman fell on my leg. And they're like, oh, okay. Weird. Like, but it's so good, man. Like we were out today. Em and I were at Costco, and there's all these little kids that are like, he's got a robot leg. And it's so much fun, man. Like I love seeing, and it's so funny how adults reacted. Like, shh, don't point. I'm like, no, it's fine, man. Like,
but kids are the most like straight up, like will say whatever is on their mind without thinking. My wife, she bought something off like Facebook Marketplace, like a stool for our kitchen, right, for the kids. And she goes and picks up the stool and everything like that. Now the woman had a crew cut and was stocky, and you get whatever. So my kids, as my wife has made the payment and gotten the chair, everything in the car, like with all the doors wide open of the car, my daughter, who's 6, goes, Mummy, why does that woman look like a boy? and my wife was just like, and the woman stops. Oh. And then she just like turns around, looks at my wife, and my wife is just like going, who like, if you meet my wife, she is like the salt of the earth woman, right? And my wife's like, I'm so sorry. and the woman is like hacking up, and she's like, please don't. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, and it was just such a weird.
She's probably popping just as much.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, it's a weird sort of, thing with kids, man, because they just say.
They're so sweet and innocent. Yeah. It's so much fun, man. Like, it's really funny. Like, when I got to work Fearophobia last year, one of the gimmicks was I was laying on a hearse, and I took my leg off and I've hidden it inside the hearse. I'm laying on it and I'm like, let's get physical. And I'm like swinging my stump up in the air, and people are like, you had a leg before. I'm like, did I? Oh God, where's my leg? Like, just making fun of it. And I'm like, yelling at people, and they're running away. I'm like, hey, come back here. Like,
hey, Husey got on the multi for 3K.
Damn right,
Husey.
We're gonna make a monster.
Oh, that is just like it said. Kids will just be say some of the
so much fun, man.
Dude, like it's funny talking about kids. Like a few months ago, I was like really sick, right? Like my stomach was nuts, whatever. And like one morning, one night, I'm laying in bed, and it's probably like 4 a.m. My youngest is in our bed with me and my wife, and I was asleep. I don't remember doing this. I'm just like, and I did this massive fart. I'm like, oh shit. And my youngest son has just gone, Mommy, daddy shit.
Oh,
he's like, I jumped out of the bed. We went to the shops a couple weeks back, and we said to the kids,
Dude, where's my leg shirts? Yes. Yes.
Nice.
The kids are like, oh, we've got to go to the bathroom. And we're like, okay, that's cool. Like, we're literally in front of the bathrooms. We can see them from our table. Like, you guys just go straight to the parents' room. Just go there and come straight back. And my daughter looks at Em and she goes, no problem, mummy. And if anyone tries to talk to us, I'll bark at them. And we're like, great, honey. That's fine. Like, yeah, so good. So good.
Oh, God.
A lot of fun.
I love it, man. It's crazy, man. Like the kid stuff is just
Oh,
like
it's
that's
the best, man.
100%, man. It's you can't top it.
No,
You can't top
like,
it.
It's the best. Like I always said, I was put on this earth to do two things. That was be a pro wrestler and be a dad. And I'm lucky enough to be a dad of 4. And it's the best, man. I love it. Like, but it's really funny too because it trips people out. They're like, oh, how long have you and Em been together? I'm like, oh, we're coming up to 6 years. And they're like, oh, you got 4 kids. I'm like, yeah, I got a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 9-month-old. They're like, wait, what? they process the math and they're like, how do you have a 10-year-old if you guys have only been together for 6 years? I'm like, I'm their dad. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Outnumbered, yes. Yes, we are.
Did you know what? I'm trying to convince my wife to go again. For
Do it, man.
We got
Hell
3.
yeah.
I was like, and my wife's like, no, get that rusty thing away from me.
we know we're not done. We want one more, at least one more.
You want to go 5?
Yeah, bro. 100%. And like our last, we did a home birth with Sage, like our youngest, and it was a magical experience, man. To be in our own home, to watch it all. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. And like Em was an absolute warrior, dude. Like watching her deliver our youngest son here at home, it was special, man. Because like I went through Em went through the hospital system with Odin, and it was horrible, dude. Like the stuff that happened during that pregnancy and that birth, it was quite traumatic. To doing it in our own home, in our own safe space, it was something incredibly special, man. And like, yeah, we definitely want to go again.
That's
Kay will be forced to understand football.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
but
dude.
like, dude, like we've had like Akel who isn't here tonight, and by the way, Akel is going to be turning up and getting faded next week on the podcast. He's going to be having a edible because Achilles donated $10 for Akel to get faded. So we are going to. I don't know if we can get him live from New York, faded at 6 a.m. in the morning, but it'd be pretty funny. But yeah, like we've been trying to find him a girlfriend, man, because he's out there. So he's out there trying to play.
Trying his best.
Man, he's doing his thing out there, bro. So but you know what we're actually going to do? We're going to send him and Swooper out on a date night to try and score some chicks, to try and pick up some chicks. Like, yeah, that's why. So we get some cameras and some wireless mics. We're going to send Swooper and.
I know a bloke. If everything goes right, it's going to be good for it this weekend.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, really.
Oh, mate, if I go all right, I'll supply your mics.
Let's go, baby.
If this multi gets up, you can have your
There
mics.
you go.
You can have your video. If the multi gets up, you have whatever you want. I'll be rolling in it.
Well, dude, Sarge has got 23K on the go as well, man.
I know,
So, bro, we'll have Joe Rogan set up in a couple of months, bro.
36K, easy.
Easy money.
Yeah.
That's it, man. So, but boys, man, it's been an hour and a half almost. We've been live. That's wild. But that's what happens when there's like good conversation with good friends, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like,
We always have a lot of fun.
That's it,
Always
man.
vibing.
Bro, what's going on with you, Coyote, man? Like, where can everyone find you, support you, and head over to your 5,000 Twitch following account?
So I am on Twitch, The Giant Coyote, all one word, lowercase. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. You can also catch me at Nightfall Pro Wrestling, White Bay Pro Wrestling, working with them. Looking at heading down to Melbourne soon. I've got some stuff in the works, which is really exciting. So, yeah, I'm all over the socials. And, yeah, I stream every Tuesday to Friday on Twitch. And, yeah, have a lot of fun, spreading the good times, good vibes, and positivity. So, always a blast.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys go out and subscribe and follow on the Twitch account of The Giant Coyote, one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, not just in the professional wrestling business, but this man has gone through some life-changing shit and still has a smile on his face every fucking day. And I don't know many people. I always say, bro, every time we have a podcast together, it's just like, it blows my mind, the positivity and the energy that you bring out, man. And I just feel honored to call you a mate and to have you on this podcast tonight, man. It's just,
dude, I was so excited. Dude, thank you. Like, I always get so excited when you reach out and like, hey, man, do you want to come on? Like, I think this is the 4th time I've been on now, and it's always a blast, man. We always have a lot of fun, chilling and vibing, and it's just sick. And I love being a part of it. So thank you so much.
No problem at all, man. And T, what do you got going on this weekend, man?
Where T, tell us all the things.
Mate, well, next weekend, the 30th of March, I'm actually going to be wrestling your mate, the Moses, down at Wrestling Go.
No, that wanker.
Yeah, mate, I'll take care of him for you. Like, I'll get rid of him, send him back up there nice and limber. And then I'll be heading down to Integrity, where I'm sure Tats will be announced very shortly what they're doing for the April 20th show.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. I thought you were going to say, what do you got coming up this weekend? Oh, I'll probably be locked up in the RBT for Friday.
Don't get me wrong. I probably might be locked up somewhere. It could be in Bungarabie, but we're not sure yet. Nice. That's still an open book there.
Oh,
what about you, Piers? What do you got on this weekend? Are you and Vinny up to some mischief?
No, this weekend I'm being the dad bod god. I'm sticking at home doing some stuff around the house, taking some kids to the party. My son's got his first football game of the year, so I'm excited for that.
Awesome, man.
And then Saturday afternoon I'm going to be hanging one-on-one with my youngest son, so that's going to be even more fun. So, man, just a dad weekend, bro. But
I'm the same. I'm not actually streaming tomorrow night. Em's off to a wedding down south, and I'll be home with all 4 cubs. So. I'm outnumbered.
Dude, yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. I have got some shows coming up in April. Nice, so Starcast is still at the moment. I'm in talks, just waiting to get confirmation.
Hell yeah, man.
Of what I'm going to be doing there.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I've also got Rock and Roll coming up, I believe, on the 20th. Integrity also on the 20th, which I don't know. I may be able to pull double duty. I don't know my chances on that. And
Integrity sounds like a lot of fun, man.
And EWA.
Yeah, nice, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, because I saw Dingo's getting the Life Achievement Award there, and
no, that's happening, and I think they just announced Thunder as well.
Yeah, Thunder as well. So
Thunder will be getting the Legacy Award, and the main event also got announced yesterday, which is Jack Bonza against Mad Max Ramirez, which is one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, well, you know what's interesting, right? And I'm just going to touch on this. Like Jack, like Bonza, not many other places book him, and I get it because PWA has a limit. He's the guy in charge there. And the fact that he is getting booked in this match against someone that isn't a PWA guy, essentially. And, I've seen Max's work, and I think Max has one of the most believable type characters and styles. And I really appreciate his work. And I think that match is going to be an absolute burner.
Well, I think it's a testament to what Integrity's doing, the fact that, like someone like a Bonza has said, yes, I'd love to come and do this. I think a lot of people, including myself, we're starting to see the bigger picture here. It's not about, PWA. It's not about anyone else. We're there to honor
Aussie wrestling.
Yeah, we're there to honor legacies of 2 people that have, helped put Aussie wrestling in the place it is.
I've known Dingo for 20 years, man, and he and I have only ever actually met face to face once, and we spent a day together at Showtime Wrestling Alliance in Newcastle back in 2010, 2011. And Dingo and I still talk to this day, man. We regularly in contact, and I owe him so much, man. He is one of the most successful people in Australian wrestling history. At the same time, people don't know that, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. He was the first guy to go overseas, make a living off it, and he's wrestling and tagging with Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, and all these amazing legends, but people don't know his name, which is messed up. So it's so good to see him finally getting the recognition he so truly deserves, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I've never met him personally. Like, he's always been good to me in terms of feedback or like anything like that I've asked for due to his relationship with trauma. Like, he's been really good to me in that sense.
Yeah, man.
So I'm looking forward to meet him. And everyone's sort of reiterating the same sort of deal. Like, I haven't heard one person say a bad thing about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I actually met him 20 years ago, around 2001, when I was originally hanging around IWA. And and I was like, I remember meeting him, and I think he was a ref at the time. He was injured or something like that, but he was.
Because in 1999, I watched him wrestle Greg and Greg's brother.
Yeah.
At one of Greg's first shows, and I think he hurt his shoulder then.
Man, I never forget meeting Greg's brother the first time. I don't know if you've met him, Piers, but like his brother had biceps with a fucking boulders, man. Like I used to remember him seeing. He was jacked as like, good God, like literally was a monster. Yeah, dude. Like his brother, I swear to God, had like 30-inch biceps. I swear to God, it was like bowling balls on his arms.
Which actually, now that we're done, I'd like to send a get well sort of thing to him. Last time I spoke to Greg, I know he had a couple of health problems and whatnot.
Oh, no.
So I'm not sure if he'll see it, but if he does, like, no, bro, we wish you all the best, bro. Like, no one wishes that upon anybody.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. But it is that time of the night, guys. It is time for us to ride off into the sunset. As always, this has been True Story Thursdays, the greatest podcast in the world, and that's a fact, and you can't deny it. But this has been an amazing night, talking with amazing people, having some amazing, energy drinks and juice and JD and cola. But until next time, we'll see you again very soon. Take care. All the best. Mwah. Peace out, bitch ass motherfuckers.
Bye, guys.